First item is A, adopt a resolution approving the City of San Bruno investment policy and receive quarterly investment report from the city treasurer. Mr. Marty.
Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council. The city investment policy must be presented to the council for adoption each year at a public meeting. I'll start over. Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council. The city's investment policy must be presented to the council for adoption each year at a public meeting. No changes have been made to the investment strategy adopted January 12, 2010. In response to the fiscal year 2009-2010 year-end audit that indicated a conflict between the city's investment policy and the deposits from the San Mateo County pool, the city has initiated the process for an electronic funds transfer to the main checking account for all funds that were previously credited to its main checking account. By doing so, the city has strengthened its ability to monitor and remain in compliance with the investment policy statement. Furthermore, this electronic funds transfer enables the city to become more efficient and timely in allocating its assets. The County Treasurer's Office estimates this process to be in place by June 30th of this year. During the first quarter of 2011, the city actively managed its investment portfolio as several bond issues matured. At quarter end, the city held the following: $15.7 million in the San Mateo County pool, $13.1 million in the local agency investment fund handled by the State Treasurer's Office, $3 million also in the local agency investment fund held in trust for the Glenview fire victims, and $10 million in federal government bonds held in trust at Union Bank. With respect to the Lehman Brothers collapse, the bankruptcy proceedings are nearing an end. On June 30th, the bankruptcy judge will rule as to the final plan for the creditors. The expectation is each creditor will receive 30 cents on the dollar, with the distribution to occur sometime in the third quarter this year. In the wake of this Lehman issue, the City Council asked to have an investment report at each quarter end, in large part to report on the progress of the bankruptcy proceedings. Since this issue is near completion, the Treasurer's Office recommends discontinuing this report. The Treasurer will, of course, report on any and all material issues relating to any of the city's investment accounts. At this point, I would like to offer clarifying language to our investment policy that is meant to formalize what, in fact, is already occurring. I would like to direct your attention to section 2, entitled Implementation. The first paragraph on page 2, which discusses the appointment of a deputy city treasurer. I would suggest eliminating that paragraph in its entirety and replacing it with the following. I do believe you have a copy of the suggested language. I'll read it aloud. In the event the treasurer is unable to perform his or her duties, the city's finance director will serve as interim treasurer until the city council is able to take the necessary action to fill this position. As I mentioned a moment ago, this is meant to clarify what in fact has taken place. On every single account, checking account, investment account, the finance director is a signatory on it, as well as I, and also the deputy city finance director is already on the accounts as well. So, in fact, if I am unable to perform my duties, the finance director has, in fact, already the authority to act to handle any of the city funds. So I would respectfully request that, again, that first paragraph on page 2 be eliminated, and in its stead, this paragraph inserted.
Okay. Anything else, John?
No, that is all.
Just as a point of clarification, maybe the city manager can clarify this for us. When you mentioned you had $3 million in the fund for the Glenview victims, I believe it was unrestricted for city use regarding the fire. I want to make sure it's clarified.
You are correct, Mr. Mayor. That is an unrestricted contribution that the city received in September, shortly after the Glenview fire incident. from PG&E. Those funds are unrestricted as to their use, and in fact, they were intended, when they were delivered to us by the corporate executives of PG&E, they were intended to be used for city-related purposes, for costs associated with the city's business and operations related to the incident. They are otherwise undesignated, have not been used, as the treasurer has indicated, are on deposit in an investment account, and at this particular moment in time have no immediate planned or intended use. But given the extraordinary impact on the city across its operational program, it is expected that at some point those funds may be needed for a purpose for which they were intended.
All right, thank you. Any questions of our
Through the chair.
city treasurer? Yes.
I would concur with the cleanup language that Mr. Marty has recommended. And I would also concur with the treasurer in regards to the quarterly coming back, because Lehman Brothers situation is pretty well resolved. Not to all that we would love, but it's the reality of what is. But I also, periodically, and I don't know what periodically may be, but it would be nice to also hear some food for thought, investment opportunity, what the market is seeing in the yield rate or performance, the city's cash flow. Things like that I think are important for us still to be engaged with, and you obviously see that on a daily basis, and I think it never hurts us to kind of be up to date on what you see happening out there.
Anything else for the treasurer?
Through the chair.
Michael?
In regards to the two primary pools that the funds are invested in, the Local Agency Investment Fund and the San Mateo County pool, what do we know about what's contained in each of those funds, and are they different enough where we're actually where we have enough diversity, or are those two essentially the same types of investments?
No, the San Mateo County pool holds approximately 350 different issues. The entire size of the fund is about $3 billion. It holds anything from CDs from various banks, not restricted to California, but nationwide. You have U.S. Treasuries, you have agency paper, Federal Home Loan Bank, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Federal Home Loan Mortgage Corporation. You have medium-term notes up to 7-10 years. In addition, you do have some corporate, investment-grade corporate securities in there, some of which are part of the Treasury Guarantee Program. So they have, in essence, federal backing. LAIF has a lot more concentration on state debt, California obligations, general obligation bonds. They hold some securities issued by various municipalities within the state. So if you look at the portfolios in general, you can think of LAIF more California-centric. The county pool is much more heavily weighted in the federal government side.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? This is an action item. Someone like to take an action?
I'll introduce the resolution for adoption
With the
with the changes stated.
Councilmember Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilmember O'Connell.
Aye.
Councilmember Medina.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Salazar.
Aye.
Mayor Ruane.
Aye.